Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 10 of What If Naruto Had the Unknown Sharingan. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was a Vampire that I posted on this channel, and enjoy that guys. And also over on Anime King, I post a new episode of What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto had multiple people sealed inside of him. So go ahead and check that out as well, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of Anime King and Anime King 2 channel. And thank you for all of your help and support guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode, shall we? Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, Sasuke was depressed as he realized Itachi was right. If he stay at the village, he will hurt his friends, everyone that he cared about. Because he realized that he's seeking power. He craves power, and seeing Naruto getting stronger is only gonna make him resent and hate Naruto, and he didn't want that. So he decided to leave Konoha, as he left off as Sakura found him. As he went up to her and hugged her, as he thanked her for everything she had done for him, as she didn't understand what was going on, as he knocked her out. Next morning, Naruto found out what happened as Sakura came to him crying, as she told him, as Naruto went as he told the Hokage, as they quickly gathered a group that was in canon, as they went off to go and search for Sasuke. As Sasuke didn't want to go with the Sound 4, as Drobo tried to force him, and him and Drobo battle, as the both of them had a long, exhausted battle, but in the end Sasuke pushed forward as he killed Drobo. Sasuke was then weak and battered on the ground, and the group arrived, as Neji took on Teiwaya as she was using her flute to play music, as it was affecting the others, but Neji was forcing chakra out of his body and was able to counteract the effect of her flute. As Neji has pushed himself hard for the last couple of months, seeing that he wanted to be stronger, Neji then took off his shirt as the chakra behind him was rotating. It then created two spears like wings, as Neji cut down all of the monsters that she created, as she was no match for Neji in this state, and Neji defeated her. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this episode with Neji as he was hit with an arrow by Kidamaru, as Naruto jumped forward and caught Neji's body. As Naruto then heard a growl, it was from Kiba, who launched forward at Kidamaru, as Kidamaru jumped off the branch in split second, as Kiba ripped through the branch and destroyed it. As Naruto looked at Neji, as Kiba was looking down. "Damn you," he said, "I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to Neji." Seeing that Kiba saw the relationship between Hinata and Neji has changed, and Neji is treating Hinata more as a cousin. And this morning Kiba was confronted by Hinata when he came to call Neji for them to go on this mission. And she made Neji promise that he will come back safe, and she also made Kiba promise that he will keep Neji and the others safe, as Kiba promised to her. But now, because of this bastard, as Kiba claws sink into the tree that he was now on. "So, Puppy got fangs," said Kida마ru. "Kida마ru, what are you doing?" said Seikon. "Well, I'm having my fun. Both Fatso and Redhead had their fun, and now it's my turn and I picked this guy." "You guys stay out of this," said Kiba as he looked down at the others. "He's mine." As both of them started their battle as they ran off into the forest. Back with Naruto, they were using a small medical kit they brought with them to stop Neji from losing any more blood. About 10 minutes later, there was a huge explosion that echoed through the forest as the group wondered who caused that. As Kiba came back in the clearing, as he was bloody and bruised, with a bruised and battered Akamaru. But Kiba then froze as he heard something behind him. "Quite an explosion there," said Kidamaru, as he was in his curse mark stage 2. "I even lost the arm," he said, "but I doubt I would miss it," as he looked at his other 5 arms. As Kiba then threw Akamaru to the group. "Kiba, what are you doing?" said Shikamaru. As he saw Kiba smile. "Take care of him," said Kiba. "Oh," said Kidamaru, "are you going to continue this fight all by yourself?" As Kiba glared at him. "I have one more trick," he said, as he reached into his pocket. Shino was always going on that one should always have a trump card hidden. As he took out 3 ration pills. "I believe this is one," he said, as he threw all pills in his mouth and swallowed it. "What the hell are you doing?" Shikamaru said, as they watched as a large amount of chakra started to pour out of Kiba's body. "Let's go," said Kiba, as Kiba dashed forward with speed that Kidamaru couldn't believe, as Kidamaru tried to punch Kiba, who suddenly appeared in front of him, but all he hit was the ear. As Kiba then reappeared behind him and delivered a devastating kick to his back, as he was sent spiraling down into the ground. "What the hell?" he said as he crashed into the ground with great force, as Kiba landed on the ground. As Kiba was dashing from left to right, punching Kidamaru on his way. As Kidamaru was being knocked back and forth by Kiba, and slashes across his chest and his arms. "I wasn't able to keep my promise to Hinata, but at least I can end you," Kiba said, as he then grabbed Kidamaru and kicked him straight up into the air. As Kiba dashed from trees to trees, as he appeared above Kidamaru, as he started to spin. "Getsuga," he said, as he crashed right into Kidamaru, as the both of them spiraled down to the earth with a boom. As Naruto cried out Kiba's name and ran over there. As Seikon realized that everything has gone to hell, their mission was to get Sasuke, now that everyone was distracted. As he pulled out a kunai, he was going to kill Shikamaru and then take Sasuke. But, as he was a few feet away, he couldn't move. "What the hell?" he said. "I'm not gonna let you take Sasuke. I will be your opponent," said Shikamaru from behind Seikon. As Shikamaru took Seikon on, till Seikon removed Ukon from his back, as Shikamaru felt the heat of the battle as he was losing, as the both of them were too much for him. But before they could do any real damage, out of nowhere Sasuke appeared with a Chidori as he sliced off Seikon's arm. Seikon screamed as he held what was left of his hand with his other hand. "Despite everything, I'm still a Leaf Shinobi, and I'm not going to let you hurt my friends," said Sasuke. "It's only because Orochimaru wants your damn body that we don't kill you on the spot," said Ukon. Both Seikon and Ukon then jumped out of the way as a Rasengan smashed into the tree that they were standing on. As Naruto arrived, "Shikamaru, we will take your things here," said Naruto. As Sasuke walked forward, as both Naruto and Sasuke looked at one of the brothers, as the both of them dashed forward, as they had a long, intense battle, but in the end, Seikon was dead. As Sasuke had stabbed him right through the chest with a Chidori, as Ukon was now on the ground, as he was back to his human form, as he was panting, as he looked up at Naruto. "You bastard, you killed him." As Sasuke then saw something, as Naruto started to create a Rasengan. "Naruto, move!" But before Naruto could do anything, he was sent flying to a tree, as a strange bone pierced right through his chest and one through his leg. As Sasuke saw a young man dressed in a purple, loose clothing. "Are you Uchiha Sasuke?" Kimimaro asked, as he was carrying a large barrel, as he let it drop to the ground. Before Sasuke could react, Kimimaro appeared in front of him and grabbed him by the neck and picked him up. "Yes, you are indeed," said Kimimaro, as Sasuke was struggling against a hole on his neck. "I can see from those eyes, you are," as Ukon rested his back on a tree. As Kimimaro went into his robe and pulled out a small jar with black pills in them. As he pulled the jar with his one hand, and pull out few of the pills. As he pries Sasuke's mouth open and put the pills inside and force him to swallow, Lord Orochimaru cannot wait any longer. This pill will accelerate the process to prepare the Uchiha's body. As Sasuke struggled, as he tried to spit it out but he was unable. As he swallowed the pill, as a dark aura came around him. "Open the coffin now," said Kimimaro, as Ukon went over and opened the coffin. As Kimimaro threw Sasuke inside, as he went through hand sign, as a black fog came above the coffin, it then went down inside as Ukon placed back on the lid. Incredible, it would have taken all four of us to do the black fog, but he did it by himself, Ukon thought. As Kidomaru sealed the coffin, no wonder he was the one that Orochimaru-sama chosen. Suddenly, Kimimaro jumped away as black fire consumed where he was standing. "What the hell did you do to Sasuke?" Naruto asked, as blood was still coming from his wounds even though they were healing. As he quickly rushed over to the coffin to try and free his teammate. But Kimimaro appeared in front of him and delivered a powerful kick to Naruto's midsection that sent him flying through a tree. "I cannot allow you to destroy the coffin. Doing so will kill Uchiha Sasuke and interfere with Orochimaru-sama plans." As Naruto got back to his feet instantly. "Then I guess I'll have to take care of you two first." As he activated Sara Sharingan. As Kimimaro then stepped forward, "Ukon, take the coffin back to Orochimaru-sama and make sure to get there on time," he said, releasing a bit of killer intent. As Ukon nodded as he grabbed the barrel and went off. "No you don't," said Naruto as he dashed forward, but Kimimaro appeared in front of him again and kicked him away. As Naruto slammed into a tree, but Kimimaro wasn't finished, as he appeared in front of Naruto and grabbed him by the face and ran him through several other trees. As Kimimaro then jumped back as he threw 3 bones at Naruto as they pierced him right in his stomach, as Naruto coughed up some blood. As he narrowed his eyes and looked forward to see Kimimaro had bones sticking all out of his body, but it don't seem to affect him. It must be some kind of strange bloodline, Naruto thought. "Does this surprise you?" said Kimimaro. "This is my clan's bloodline limit." "I don't care about you," said Naruto. "Move out of my way." "I will not. I am here to fulfill Orochimaru-sama's wish, and right now you're a threat in that plan, and I won't allow you to pass." As Kimimaro dashed forward, as he stretched his arm forward as a bone came from his palm and tried to stab Naruto, but Naruto jumped and flipped off the tree. As Kimimaro jumped on the tree and pushed himself off and flipped over to Naruto, as Naruto tried to jump right over Kimimaro, but Kimimaro jumped up into the air and meet Naruto, as bones came from his shoulders as he tried to grab Naruto to pierce him all over, but Naruto ducked under him as Naruto was trying to go after Ukon, but Kimimaro then fired 2 bones right in front of Naruto, stopping him in his path as he landed gracefully. Naruto quickly jumped back as he created shadow clones, as 10 clones appeared and surrounded Kimimaro as they all rushed towards him, as Kimimaro stood there unfazed. As all of the clones rushed forward with their kunais, but all of them then poofed away as Kimimara's entire body bones were sticking out from everywhere. As Kimimaro looked up to see Naruto right in front of him with his arm covered in fire. "Aoyaku," said Naruto, as Kimimaro didn't even bother to dodge. As Naruto was surprised when bones came from Kimimaro's ribcage and impaled his hand and stopped his attack. "Sobeki no Mai," said Kimimaro as he looked down on the younger shinobi, as he pulled a bone from his shoulder and stabbed Naruto right in his shoulder. As Naruto squealed out in pain, he then brought up his leg and slammed it into Naruto's stomach, as Naruto slammed right into a tree. As Naruto panted as he gripped his bleeding shoulder, "Damn you," he growled. But Kimimaro stood there with a neutral look on his face, unafraid, ineffective. "From what I sensed when I was coming here, I expected you to be a greater challenge. But your mind is so focused on rescuing Uchiha Sasuke. You don't realize yet that you're going to die by my hands." "Shut up," said Naruto. "I understand you. I know what it feels like to have this one thing, and you devote yourself to it, and it seems like nothing else matters. You want to save your teammate, and I want to fulfill my master's wish. However, there's a difference Between you and me, I have nothing left to lose, said Kimmaru, as he extended his fingers, as 5 bones shot out from it. But they weren't after Naruto, they were after Neji and Kiba, where they lie unprotected. Acting out of instinct, Naruto launched himself towards his fallen teammates. Damn it, I'm not going to make it in time, as he rushed to stop the white bullets. But Kimmaru only did this to distract Naruto, as Naruto was now completely open, as he fired another barrage of bone projectiles towards Naruto. But neither bullets made contact, as 2 large barriers of sand appear in front of Naruto and his teammates. What a shameful behavior, Uzumaki Naruto, said a voice, as Naruto instantly recognized it was Gaara. Back at Konoha, Ino, Hinata, Sakura, and Tenten were training, as seeing that all the boys were away and neither of them except for Sakura know what is going on, they all decide to train, as Tenten said that they all need to get stronger. The boys could be there to protect them all the time, but Tenten then stopped. Hey, what are you doing here, she said. I am not here to fight, as they looked to see it was Temari. We are here as a peace envoy to assist on the dangerous mission, said Temari. Dangerous missions? All the girls said, as Sakura started to sweat. Meanwhile, Naruto was taken back as Gaara appeared. What are you doing here? He asked. I could ask you the same thing. Your Hokage tell me that you are out here trying to save a friend, but you're failing, said Gaara. You don't know what you're talking about, said Naruto, as Gaara laughed a bit, surprising Naruto. Yeah, maybe you're right. I am still new at this protecting others. But what I do know is that if you continue to fight this person at your current state, you will die. And I cannot allow that to happen. What are you saying, said Naruto, as the sand from the gourd poured out. I will take care of this guy while you go ahead and rescue Sasuke. But what about the others? Naruto said as his eyes shift from Kiba to Neji and then Shikamaru, as the 3 of them are unconscious. I will keep them safe, said Gaara. Now, go. As Naruto nodded as he dashed off, as Kimimaro tried to stop him, but a huge wall of sand appeared in front of Kimimaro, blocking him from Naruto's path. As Kimimaro then had to jump away as the sand tried to crush him under the weight. As some of the sand went over to Shikamaru and the others, as it placed them into a sand spear protecting them. Now, let's end this. I see, said Kimimaro. You're the type of guy that doesn't hold back. Exactly, Gaara said. Meanwhile, Kakashi jumped from branch to branch with incredible speed as his mind was on his students. He had let things get out of control. His damn pride almost made him destroy everything between him and one of his students, and it has gotten out of control. Due to his hesitation, he had let down everyone to the 3rd Hokage, even his own teacher and even Guy, who refused to speak to him unless it was about mission-related things, as he never thought he would have missed the constant challenge from Guy, but now he missed them, as he knew that he had to have a talk with Team 7, as he was currently coming back from a mission, as he could see Konoha in view. Sometime later, Naruto pushed his body off of every branch with a great portion of speed that he could muster, as he had to save Sasuke. I swear after I bring him home, I'm going to beat Sasuke within an inch of his life, Naruto said as he tried to keep his mind off other matters about his injured friends that were left behind. Or better yet, I would just tell all the girls that he was trying to leave and watch a show. After a couple more hours, Naruto saw the silhouette of Ukon and the container. You bastard! I got you now, said Naruto. Damn it, said Ukon. But how? How did you get past Kimimaro? As he tried to up his speed, but he was going as fast as he could. Little by little, Naruto was catching up. Just a bit more and he will finally finish this mission. Ukon started to panic. The spiky hair boar was about to catch him, and he could not drop the Uchiha because if he did, Orochimaru or Kimimaro would find him, and they will rip him apart. As he then saw the sight of a river. Yes, I'm almost at the border. If I can just make it down the waterfall, then I'll be out of here, he said, as Ukon jumped down. But then, The container started to shake as it then exploded as a lightning dragon burst from it and engulfed Ukon. As Ukon's body fell to the ground dead, Sasuke, Naruto shouted as he watched the explosion and the lightning jutsu disappear over the edge. As Naruto jumped on one of the two statues as he looked down, as he saw a creature at the foot of the waterfall. He had dark skin and long, messy grey hair. Then the hair started to recede and the skin started to clear up. It was Sasuke. What the hell? Naruto said. Sasuke, are you alright? Naruto asked loud. As Sasuke was glancing down at his own body, trying to make sense of what just happened. It had been like when he first get that power in the Force of Death, but it was now 100 times stronger. He had felt incredibly powerful and ready to take on the world yet again. But now he knew better this time. Hearing Naruto's voice snapped him out of his thoughts. I think I am, he said. That's great, let's go. If we hurry, we can make it back before Ichiraku Ramen closes. Also, Shikamaru and the others need medical attention. As he was about to turn and head back to Konoha. No, said Sasuke. What? Naruto said. I am not planning to go back to the village. As Sasuke knew whatever the Sound Genins did to him, it made him strong, but it still didn't compare to his power. And it didn't matter because he didn't have any control over this power, as you remember in the Forest of Death when he went wild. At least, not for now, said Sasuke. Are you crazy? Said Naruto. Shikamaru and the others risked their goddamn life for you. Sakura was left completely devastated for what you did. And despite all of that, you still want to continue with this stupidity? Naruto screamed on top of his lungs. Sasuke grit his teeth, but he was unable to stop the anger that was rising inside of him as well. It's exactly because of that why I am doing this, he shouted back. We are both Uchihas. Our blood will try to get us to kill each other just for power. Do you want to put Sakura and the others through that? He asked. You don't know that, said Naruto. The only time I've ever wanted to kill you is right now. And not because of the Uchiha blood, it's because you're acting like a colossal moron. Naruto shouted as he closed his fists so tight that blood started to run down from them. You just don't understand. As Sasuke looked at the water, he then looked back up. Fight me, Naruto, he said. If I win, then that means I should be strong enough to hold back whatever power the Uchiha blood has over me, and I can return back to the village. But if I lose, you must let me leave. As Naruto shook his head, just when I thought you couldn't say anything stupider, I am not going to fight you, Sasuke. Yes, you will, if you want to put an end to all of this. Fight me, and fight me with all you have, so we can finally decide who is the strongest. Don't you dare hold back anything. Then what's stopping me from beating the crap out of you and dragging you back to the village, said Naruto. Then the first thing I'll do when I get back is quit being a ninja. It's that simple, said Sasuke. It's that simple, huh? Said Naruto, as he took off his headband and threw it to the side. If you can play it off that simple, inflicting so much pain on others back at the village, and saying that it's that simple, well then, I'm going to beat the crap out of you and show you that it's that simple. As he activated Sara Sharingan and jumped off the waterfall. By the time Sasuke activated his own Sharingan, half a dozen Naruto has already jumped around him and started their attack. As Sasuke could follow all the punch and kicks with his Sharingan. Unfortunately, there was strength and also a great speed behind their punches and kicks. Little by little, he was being forced back as he went on the defensive. Eventually, a punch broke through his defenses as he landed on top of a lake. As all of them launched at him, as Sasuke cut off the chakra at his feet and fell into the water as he released an explosive tag that destroyed all of the clones. As Sasuke emerged a distance away, but the real Naruto shot out of the smoke as he pulled back his fist and slammed it right into Sasuke's gut as Sasuke was sent flying as the wind was knocked out of him, but he quickly regained his bearings in mid-air as he snapped his eyes open and ran to one side. Fire style. Fireball jutsu, he said as he released a massive fireball. Naruto went through hand signs. He slammed his hand in the water as a water wall rose up as the fireball smashed into it, cancelling both techniques. Once Sasuke landed back on the water, the both of them looked at each other, staring in both each other's Sharingans, as they then dashed forward attacking each other. Meanwhile at Konoha, Sakura was at Naruto's apartment. After she and the girls dispersed, she couldn't go home, as she went and decided to stay at Naruto's apartment until he came home, as she wanted to know what is going on. Were they able to find Sasuke? What happened? As she had to keep herself busy, as she looked around his apartment. Well, better get to work, she said, as she cleaned the dishes and threw away the empty ramen cups and cleaned the whole entire house. She then heard something drop as she went to investigate, as she was shocked when she saw it was a picture of Team 7, as she picked it up as her finger caught on the glass, as her blood dropped on both Naruto and Sasuke, as she started to cry instantly. Please, let this be a coincidence. Please, she said. Meanwhile, with Naruto and Sasuke, Rasengan, Chidori, things quickly escalated. Punch and kicks gave way to shurikens and kunais, and that was replaced by ninjutsu. And now they're at this, slamming their Rasengan and Chidori into each other techniques, as their attacks exploded, throwing the both of them back as they hit the wall with great force. Had enough yet, Sasuke? Naruto said, as he slowly picked himself up. As Sasuke pushed himself up, as his headband fell to the ground. Of course not. You want to quit? He asked, huffing and puffing, as the both of them rushed at each other again, using their fists to attack their opponent. As Sasuke then felt himself getting the one-up on Naruto, as he was knocking Naruto back, but he didn't know that the first stage of the curse mark was activated. As Naruto quickly performed hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu, he said, as he sent a large fireball towards Sasuke. As Sasuke jumped up in the air and avoided the attack, as he threw kunais towards Naruto. As Naruto dodged both of them as he jumped up in the air to face Sasuke, but he didn't notice a cable tied to both kunais. As Sasuke brought the thread up to his mouth as he fired off a fire style jutsu, as it came down on the threads. Amaterasu, Naruto said, as the black flames consumed Sasuke flames, stopping them in their tracks. As Sasuke quickly released the threads before the black flames could reach him, but a single flame landed on his left sleeve, setting it on fire. As Sasuke fell down on the ground as the pain was instant, as he quickly ripped off his shirt and threw it to the ground as the black flames incinerated it. As Sasuke then looked at his body to see the curse mark was activated. What? When did it? But he then fell to his knees as pain started to come from the mark. As Naruto watched as Sasuke started to transform, as he screamed in pain, as his body started to change, as his skin turned black and his hair turned grey and long, and two monster arms came from his back that were supposed to be wings. His eyes were now black with the Sharingan in the middle of it. Stop this, Sasuke, said Naruto. You need help. No, said Sasuke. We're going to finish this. You just wanted to quit because I was starting to gain the upper hand. Damn it, Naruto cursed. Would you quit acting so stupid? Things are getting way out of hands and you still want to continue? I have to keep going. We have to, he said. As Sasuke dashed forward, as Naruto had to do the same to meet him head on, as the both of them smashed right into each other, as Sasuke then kicked off of Naruto and flipped up in the air, as he went through a hand sign and Naruto did the same. As Sasuke released small fireballs, as Naruto said Sukein, as water tentacles burst on the water and slammed into the fireballs. As Sasuke quickly created a Chidori and dashed towards Naruto. As Naruto went through hand sign, earth style, mud wall, he said, as the Chidori smashed through the wall, but Naruto turned his body to the left, as he was already in the air as he delivered a powerful roundhouse kick to Sasuke's face. As the both of them looked at each other, and then rushed at each other again as their fists collided, as he sent a ripple through the area. As the both of them then jumped away, as they looked at each other, it was time for them to go all out. As Sasuke was now surrounded by a dragon made out of pure electricity, and Naruto, right hand, was surrounded by pure flames. Hoyaku, said Naruto. Lightning dragon, Sasuke said. as the both of them shot towards each other with their jutsus burning in their hands. As a pair of powerful ninjutsu collided, pushing into each other, as the both of them were trapped in a spear of light as they tried to push each other back. At that moment, Naruto felt pain shooting through his body. Ever since he absorbed the Kyuubi's chakra, you remember, all those pains were short, but this one, it was intense. As he felt like he ate that explosive tag and his insides were burning up. The pain reached such a high level that for a moment he blacked out as the fire extinguished from his hand. As Sasuke wasn't holding off anything, as his hand went forward and plumaged right through Naruto's chest. As Naruto's eyes went wide, as Sasuke was also shocked. As Naruto's body started to fall back. As Naruto fell into the water. As Sasuke couldn't move. As he watched his teammate, his body floating down as the blood poured on top of the water. As Sasuke could also see his reflection. As he remembered what his brother said. His eyes, they were changing into the Mangeto Sharingan. Meanwhile, Naruto was suspended underwater as his body just stood there. So, you finally got yourself killed, huh kid? Said the Kyuubi. Well, at least it wasn't your fault this time. As Naruto snapped open his eyes, as he was in absolute darkness. You've been feeling pain, now and then. My chakra that you saw from me that day, it has been trying to merge with your own chakra and giving you these shocks of pain. And today it happened at the worst time. You knew about this? Why the hell didn't you say anything, Naruto asked? I was too curious about what will happen, I guess, said the Kyuubi. Yeah, and now we're both going to die because of it. Not necessary. If you don't fight me off, I can help the merge of my chakra with yours. I am sure that my chakra will be able to heal that nice little wound of yours that your friend opened in your chest. You will help me just like that. What do you want in exchange? Naruto asks. Now, you're actually starting to think, kid. By helping you, I am ensuring that you don't drag me along your way to hell. And like I said, I'm curious. I want to see what will happen next. Fine, Furball. Do your thing, said Naruto. Very well, kid, said Kurama. But do me and yourself a favor. Don't lose yourself in it. Something tells me that it will grant you something that is beyond your comprehension. But guys, we end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications stay posted. Remember to share all of your friends on your social media platform and stay in tune. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode that I give you today. And yeah, go ahead and check out What If Naruto Was a Vampire. I post a new episode of that on this channel. And over on Anime King, I posted What If Naruto Had Multiple People Sealed Inside of Him, and I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto Returned Different After his training trip. So go ahead and check out those and enjoy. But for now, I'm out of here guys. See ya. Peace.